All right, it's a chilly morning here in the marshes of South Louisiana. Got a warm week ahead, and it's gonna warm up today. Look, that sun's just coming up. You see it right there. It's supposed to be low 70s today, just an absolutely beautiful day. Winds right now are down, and I've pushed into the marsh to see what I can find. It's been a minute since I've been in the marsh. Been busy chasing crappie and doing some other things, but man, I'm excited to be here. My name's Todd Masson. This is the Marshman Masson YouTube channel. Come along with me, let's see what we can catch. All right, as I mentioned, it's been a minute since I fished, so I'm in search mode. And when I'm in search mode, this time of year, my favorite bait, or one of my favorite baits to throw, is a green hornet matrix shad on a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head. So that's what I'm gonna start with. Water clarity is spectacular. Water temp, 54.7. I definitely like that. Oh goodness, are you serious? We're gonna get the first cast curse? We're gonna get the first cast curse. Uh-oh. That's a bad sign. Well, at least he's not a keeper. Maybe that'll work in our favor. Look at that. We settled up right on a school of fish. Well, maybe a school. I don't know. Maybe it's a solo. Who knows? I definitely want to catch some speckled trout today. I'll take whatever bites, obviously. I'm not going to be picky, but that's really what I came back here to try and find. Oh, look at that. Oh, another throwback right under the boat. I appreciate the thought, but where's your daddy? Or your mommy. I'll take her. Oh, another hit. Some little fish in here. Throw this SP57 crankbait, then lavender shad. See if we get something bigger to bite. Oh, there's one. What is that? Oh, it's a foul hook trout. Different bait, same result. He's bigger than the others, but not big enough. Even these little trout are good to see after the freeze we had last month. Definitely had a kill throughout the Louisiana coast. But reports since then have been pretty good, so I don't think the kill was too significant. Obviously, you hate to lose any fish at all, but we really kind of dodged a bullet. Oh goodness, that was a good hit. That's not a small one. That might be a red. I think that's a redfish. Or a big trout. Yeah, it's a big trout. Look at this guy. Oh, come on. Stay buttoned up, dude. I got to get you swinging this way. Oh, goodness. Look at this trout. That's a big, beautiful fish. On that SB. All right, this fish is way too big for me to keep. So I'm going to tag him and let him go. That's a 3-pound fish. All right, big boy. See you later. All right, he swam down. He's good. All right, I weighed that fish on the boga. He was just a squirt under 3 pounds. It's about the biggest I catch in these marshes. You know, every now and then I'll catch a 5, even a 6-pounder, but that's really a rare fish for me. So I do get excited about 3-pounders. SP57 lavender shad. Speckled trout love this bait. I really like to, well, I like to throw this thing in a lot of situations, but when I get on small speckled trout, throwing a matrix or a Zimmer swimmer or something like that, I'll switch to this because it just tends to catch bigger fish. Not always, sometimes those little ones will hit it too, but bigger fish just really, really love this bait. All right, I've continued to push into this bayou. No bites, no additional bites on this SP57, but the water's gotten really, really deep. 10.5 feet right here. So I'm gonna drag this limbo slice matrix shad on a 3/8 ounce death grip jig head. Just kind of troll through here and see if I can run across some fish. If I get a bite, I can then stop and make repeated casts on it. Let's give this a whirl. Oh. All right, that didn't take long. Got a couple bites already. I missed them, but it's a good place to maybe set up and see if we can mine it for some more bites. Sometimes that trolling technique shows you where fish are and you cannot catch them casting. Let's hope that's not the case today. You just gotta like troll back and forth to catch them. It's crazy. This particular school must be little fish because I've gotten a number of bites. I can't get a hook in them. Oh, got a hook in that one. Are you gonna make the cut? Doesn't feel like it. You got a shot though. Yeah, I think you might. Worth a measure, that's for sure. I'm thinking he's gonna be just a little short, but we'll check him. Yeah, he's about 12 and a half. Big enough for a tag, not big enough for dinner. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that, a flounder. My favorite bycatch. I don't think this guy's big enough to keep though. He's not all that big, but I might keep him because I hooked him in the gill. All right, I keep getting hit on the way down. And even though the water's 10 and a half feet where I'm throwing, I've seen situations where those fish are suspended and the only way to really catch them is with a cork. So I'm gonna throw this Versamax Pro Max. Love this cork. It's the one with the adjustable leader length. I got that over a 16th ounce death grip jig head with a Salt Strong power prawn. Let's see if that delivers some strikes for us. Oh, there we go. He feels a little nicer. Well, he's a keeper for sure. All right. All right. Not a big fish, but a definite keeper. Yeah, 14 inches. Oh, there we go. Are you gonna make the cut? Let's see. Feeling kind of marginal. Man, I think you're gonna make it. I think you're gonna make it. I'm optimistic about you, buddy. Ooh, a little less optimistic. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, he does not make the cut. See you later. 10 and a half feet of water, and we're throwing a cork. Fish are definitely suspended. Why do they suspend like that? I have no idea. I'm guessing whatever bait is moving through here is just higher in the water column. These fish are definitely feeding. Usually when you have a bite like this, oh, there we go. That's high in the water column over deep water. It dies once that sun gets too high, because then the bait all settles. Well, I appreciate the thought, dude. The state of Louisiana says I have to let you go. You know, it's late winter. Definitely is the time you find a whole bunch of small fish. All the fish that moved inside in the fall have been picked over. There's another one. It's just every cast now. I just don't think he's any bigger. Nope. Skinny, skinny fish. It's funny, this power prawn is obviously a shrimp imitation. Probably not a whole lot of shrimp in the marsh right now. But speckled trout love shrimp. They see one, they have to eat it. No matter what time of year. Oh, okay, he feels a little better. Maybe. Definitely a better first tug. Nope. He's just strong. Hate to leave feeding fish, but man, it just doesn't seem there's a whole lot of keepers in there. There's obviously some. It's one of those things, you never know how long to sit on action like this. I mean, it's literally every cast. This Versamax Pro Max is the best sounding cork that Versamax makes. It sounds like a feeding fish. Oh, that was a feeding fish that I missed. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Feels like a keeper, but so have some of the others. I am fighting him against this current, so it makes him feel bigger. Now I'm thinking he's just like the rest. Yeah, I mean, probably 12 inches, but definitely not 13. All right, well, that settles that. I know there is some fish up to 3 pounds in this bayou, so let's keep moving on. Oh, there's a fish. All right. That's a trout. Is he a keeper? We'll check. Not sure. He's a measurer, but I think he's about 12 3/4. He is 12 3/4. Oh, that's a good hit. What is that? Oh, he got off. Man, I didn't even get to see him. Shoot. Well, that stinks. He tagged it. Might have been a bass. Oh, there's a fish. That's a nice trout. All right, there we go. That's the size we're looking for. Fun to fight and good eaters. Oh, good hook. He was hooked well on that green hornet matrix shad. Let's see if he's got any buddies. He was on the bottom, pretty much right under the boat. We got 9 feet of water right here. Oh, there we go. There's a fish. Oh, look at this flounder. There we go. That dude tagged it. It's a 2 flounder kind of day. I don't double up on flounder too often. You know, flounder population in Louisiana is not the best. Hasn't been in years. Better than it was 5 years ago or so. But I catch maybe a dozen of these a year. So it's really nice, catch 2 in a day. I love them. I love these fish. I did a video years ago showing how I stuff these. I debone them and stuff them, and it's absolutely fantastic. I'll link to it here so you can check it out. Definitely keeping him. Oh, that's a good fish. Redfish, maybe? Redfish? I think it's a red. I was wondering where all the reds were. Oh, come on, baby. He's just kind of realizing he's hooked. I think he's good keeper size. Definitely a redfish. I got a glimpse of him. I'm starting to think he might be too big. We'll see. Ooh, he's definitely big. He's on the big side. Oh yeah, he's a big one. He's a tagger. This guy is a tagger for sure. All right, you gonna let me net you? You're not gonna go down without a fight, are you? I don't blame you. All right, here we go, we got him. Yeah, that's a big old boy. All right, this redfish is 23 inches. I'm legally allowed to keep him, but I don't like him this big. No point in killing this fish. I'm gonna tag him and let him go. All right, 55-degree water. This dude will do just fine. Just got to get his wits about him. Get a little strength back. There he goes. You know, a lot of people would have kept that fish, and I certainly wouldn't fault you if you did. I mean, believe me, they're good to eat. They're just not great to eat. At least in my opinion. Some people disagree with that. That's your prerogative. If you love them, keep them. But to me, a fish like that is worth more released after I put a tag in it, because if somebody catches that fish and reports the tag, I get to find out how much he grew, in what amount of time, where he moved to, and that information to me is invaluable. I love it. And I get a million questions about tagging fish because I tag so many fish in a year. And I tag through a program that's open to anybody. You can tag fish if you want. TagLouisiana.net. It's an absolutely fantastic program. It's run by a guy named Randy Pacina. Randy used to head up the fisheries division at Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. He's a biologist. He's a brilliant biologist. I used to interview him for years for the speckled trout forecast when I was at Louisiana Sportsman. And I'm addicted to tagging fish. I just love it. I love getting recapture reports. I always get excited when I see that in my inbox to click on it and see where one of my fish was recaptured. So go check it out if you got any interest. TagLouisiana.net. Although I would encourage you not to sign up if you don't think you'll tag and release fish, because it is expensive. It's a self-funded program. They do take donations and sponsorships if you're so inclined. But believe me, once you start tagging, you will absolutely love it. And you got to tag a lot of fish to get returns. Historically, it's about 3% of speckled trout that get returned and 6% of redfish. So if you tag 50 redfish, you'll get 3 returns on average. You know, so that's a lot of fish you got to tag. Oh, dadgummit. Oh, there we go. Another trout. All right, I think he might. Nah, he's not gonna make it. I don't know. He might. He's worth a measure. He's barely worth a measure. I'm gonna measure him because I said I would, but I don't think he's legal. Man, he's closer than I thought. He's about 12 7/8. That's why you measure them. Sometimes you get surprised. So funny how some days you get in areas that are just overrun with small fish, and other days everything you catch is a keeper. There's a whole lot of trout in this area. They're just not very big. But you know how that is. You could stumble on a school that's all keepers, which is what I'm hoping will happen. Oh, what are you? Speckled trout, I think. No, redfish. He came up and shook like a trout. The 1987 keeper. Not a 2025 keeper. But he is a 2025 tagger. All right, hopefully you catch this guy after he grows to be legal size and you report that tag. Nothing would make me happier. Well, any day you catch a grand slam is a good day. Got a trout, redfish, and flounder. 2 flounder. The only thing we don't have is a bass. I'm pretty sure I had one hooked earlier. Oh, goodness. That might be another red. My rod slipped out of my hands. I did not get a good hook set. Yep, another red. Really good, hard bite. About another 15-incher. Another tagger. All right, grow up. The reds I like are about 3 inches bigger than that one. The minimally legal ones. Oh! Oh, shoot! I got a bad hook set. I think it was another red. Bunch of reds in here, man. It's really not all that impressive of an area. Not a whole lot of depth. I mean, 2 feet in here. There's a bunch of fish. So for those of you watching from South Louisiana, I'll be riding in Toth this weekend. For those outside of Louisiana, you're probably wondering what that is. It's a parade that rides the Sunday before Mardi Gras every year. So this coming Sunday, weather looks absolutely perfect. I'll be on float 22A. It's a float that's got like 3 cars to it, but I'll be on A on the driver's side, top, and I think I'm number 7. Number 7. So if you make a sign saying, throw me something, Marsh man, or something like that, I will bombard you with stuff. I went and loaded the float yesterday. I'm riding with my buddy Milton Ulmer and my neighbor Cameron Mudford. We've got so much stuff, it's crazy. I don't know how the float didn't tip over. I've never ridden before. Lifelong resident of Southeast Louisiana, I've never ridden in a Mardi Gras parade. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. There we go. That's a speck. He's worth a check, but I doubt it. I don't think he's legal. Believe it or not, he is. That's why you check them. All right, super fun morning on a beautiful day, catching a whole bunch of fish. So grateful we didn't get destroyed in that Arctic blast that we had last month. Still plenty fish around. And man, the next few months should just be outstanding. But I got something special planned for these fish, so stick with me. Next time you see me, I'll be in my kitchen. All right, welcome to my kitchen. You know, over the past couple of years, maybe even longer than that, my family and I have been trying to eat a lot more whole ingredients, stuff that's not canned or processed. Just feel like that's a whole lot better for you. And hey, I mean, we're definitely not getting any younger, but that definitely doesn't mean you got to eat stuff that doesn't taste good. And today I'm gonna make a recipe for you that tastes really, really good. And it's very, very healthy for you. It's seared fish topped with mango salsa. Outstanding. But let me show you the ingredients you need. All right, first off, of course, we got a mango. I buy these from Costco or Sam's. You get them in like 6 or 8 packs. They're generally about $1 a piece. Then typically I make this with red onions. I don't have any red onions right now. I do have Vidalia onions, and those are outstanding, really good, sweet onions. So I'm gonna use one of those. Got a red bell pepper. Those are sweeter than green bell peppers, but if you prefer the taste of a green bell pepper, go ahead and use that. We got a jalapeno. If it's a salsa, you gotta have a little bit of heat. I don't like a ton of heat, but if you take the seeds and the pulp out of the jalapeno, it's not terribly spicy. Then we got cilantro, which I absolutely love. I use it in a ton of my cooking. We got a lime. You gotta have that acid to kind of cut back on the sweetness of the salsa. And then you got salt and pepper. That's it. Super simple ingredients. Probably will require a visit to the grocery store for you, but you don't need a whole lot to make a really, really good salsa. All right, first up, we gotta peel the mango. You know, mangoes are such a weird fruit. The seed inside of there is like kind of sandy, kind of hairy, I don't know what. It's just weird, but the fruit around here is just so good, but you do have to peel them. I like to use a potato peeler to do that. They're definitely easier to peel when they're less ripe. The riper they get, the harder they are to peel, but of course, the better they taste. This one's kind of medium ripeness. All right, that's what you're left with. That's the seed of the mango. You just throw that out. Now, part of making a good salsa is getting the little bits to be all roughly about the same size. So I gotta do a little bit of work on this mango here. You definitely don't have to be fanatical about it, and you can make it as coarse or as fine as you want to. All right, next I'm gonna go ahead and cut up this red bell pepper. I like green and red bell peppers, but eating raw, I definitely prefer the red ones. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up my Vidalia onion. Definitely not gonna use this whole thing. Maybe about, I don't know, a quarter of it, maybe a half, we'll see. All right, I ended up using about a quarter of that onion. Now we're gonna do the jalapeno. Now, if you really like heat, of course, leave the seeds in. in the pulp. You can also make this with habanero peppers if you want it really hot. I hate heat, so I'm not gonna do that. And I took out all the pulp and seeds. I definitely do like the taste of jalapeno. I just don't like when it's super spicy. I'm gonna use a half of the jalapeno. I might add more depending on how spicy this particular jalapeno is. You never kind of really know. All right, look at that. Not mixed yet, but it's starting to look good. Now we're gonna do some cilantro. And I'm gonna do a lot of cilantro because I love it. That's probably a little overboard, but it's okay. Nobody ever complained about too much cilantro. Well, I guess some people do. To some people, cilantro tastes like soap. And if you're one of those people, I apologize. Your life sucks. All right, we're getting near the end. Last thing is gonna be some lime juice. Well, second to last thing, because we gotta add some salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. All right, now we're gonna mix it up. All right, you gotta admit, that looks beautiful. Now I think we do need a little bit more lime juice. I'm gonna taste it, make sure it hits all the right notes. Perfect. I nailed it on the first try, no doubt. It is very good. Man, that is good. All right, I put the salsa in the fridge to let the flavors kind of meld, and now I'm gonna go ahead and get cracking on these fish. I've got my cast iron skillet going right here. We're gonna just sear these fish. You don't wanna do too much with them because the real flavor comes from that mango salsa. All right, I store all my fish. If you're a regular viewer, you know this, in Ziploc bags, in a bowl, covered with ice in my fridge. Last 2 weeks that way. Tastes as good 2 weeks later as the day you caught it. I don't freeze any fish. All right, I'm using to season this fish is this Louisiana Fish Fry Cajun seasoning. Just seasoning the flat side of the fish. That's the side I'm gonna put in the pan first. Got my homemade tallow. What's left of it in this jar, but it's definitely enough for tonight. Put some of that in the pan. We'll let it melt, and then we'll throw our fish in there. As you can see, our pan is good and hot. It's smoking really, really well. I went ahead and filleted that flounder. That's what this is. These are trout fillets. Now we just gotta be patient and wait for our fish to sear. All right, beautiful sear. All right, perfect. Perfecto. All right, pulled our fish out. Now we just gotta top it with the salsa. All right, put a generous amount on there. All right, it's definitely pretty. No doubt about it. Now we will see how it tastes. All right, here we go. Ooh, it's smoking. I mean, I knew it'd be good, and it really is. Sometimes you really nail the salsa. Tonight I did. Just kind of that perfect mix of ingredients, outstanding. You know, kind of as we move into the warm weather months, this is a dish that you definitely want to make. Really refreshing, and as I mentioned, it's really, really healthy. You'd never know this is healthy though, as good as it is. Phenomenal. All right, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marshman Masson channel on YouTube. And until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh, we'll see you right here on Marshman Masson. Man, this is good.